Yeah.
Did you know that prior to the turn of the century, homework was really not a part of the average child's experience? Any children that did go to school would then come home, be expected to do their chores, or help run the family farm. Over time, this original idea has changed, and with each decade comes more homework, new expectations, and ideas about school. So clearly, there are some strong ideas about why we should keep homework around because it's been around for this long. I'm going to refute the argument that homework helps children better retain information, provides for valuable family time, and instills responsibility and encourages self-discipline. First, I'm going to refute the argument that homework is essential to help children retain the information. Extra practice and learning from corrections is basically how children are going to be able to retain the information correctly. So the purpose should be that the child gets to do this extra practice at home of the things that they learn at school and then learn from their mistakes once it's graded. Though from reading Potential Harms of Homework on Teachology.com, the online teacher resource, it says that a lot of teachers don't often have time to grade papers properly because they're too busy designing lesson plans or just trying to manage lessons. By the time students are getting their papers back, they've already moved on to a new topic, and so it doesn't really do them any good. Therefore, in this frequent situation, if children are able to retain the information from simply doing their homework, they could be retaining the wrong information, which isn't beneficial. The argument that homework helps children retain information has been refuted because teachers rarely have the time to grade papers in a timely manner so that the child can actually learn from it. Next, I will refute the argument that homework is a good way to bring the family closer together to spend time together. Ideally, one of its primary functions would be for the child to come home and ultimately ask their parents or siblings for help so that they could all be involved in their children's education. But we can't really assume that all children are just going to be willing to do their homework in the first place. And what about the families where the parents didn't really get a great education? At scholastic.com, they write about homework saying, many parents spend evenings serving as homework monitors. Homework can cause conflict between children and parents that shouldn't be there. And not only that, but parents of lower socioeconomic status may not have even really had a great education in the first place, so they're kind of incapable of helping their children. Lastly, in some families, you might have situations where the parents are actually doing the homework for the children. GreatSchools.com interviewed a bunch of parents about their children's homework habits and things like that, and one mother was talking about how she was surprised that the parents in her neighborhood were actually doing the homework. And she said, it was unbelievable when parents were asking me how my projects were going. These three reasons are enough to show that I have refuted the argument that there may only be a small amount of families who actually benefit from homework the way it's intended, which is to give family time. Lastly, I'm going to refute the argument that homework is used to instill responsibility and encourage self-discipline. Now, there's this idea that ultimately homework can help students establish a responsible routine and in turn be able to prioritize. Well, let's be honest, students these days know nothing about prioritizing and a lot about procrastination. In reality, when there's too much homework and not enough time, all it's going to do is encourage cheating. These students are just going to end up copying off one another just to get their assignments done in time. In a survey done by abcnews.com, they found that out of 12,000 students surveyed, 74% had admitted to cheating at least once in the past year. And they didn't even specify whether that was homework or tests. So if a student will cheat on a test, there's a greater likelihood that they would cheat on just homework. So instead of homework instilling responsibility, it will continue to encourage cheating, which again proves homework to not be beneficial. In conclusion, homework has been around for many different reasons thought to be beneficial to children. One reason is because homework can help children retain information, though because teachers need a lot of time to design lesson plans and grade papers on top of that, teachers can't get the papers back to students in time so that they can actually learn the information. Instead of bringing families closer together, it can create conflict, and in some situations, the parents are actually doing the homework for the children. The idea that homework can help build responsibility can't stand against the statistics that say that students are cheating, which is increasing. Homework has been around for a long time, and throughout this time, a lot of things have changed. And so I think it's time that the status quo of homework did too. Thank you.